Hey guys, I'm Charlie.
I'm Emily.
And we are sitting inside Blanche, our self-made camper van.
We are from Wolfville, Nova Scotia, which is on the east coast of Canada.
And I'm a carpenter.
And I'm a goldsmith.
And we have been together for 6 years, and we've been engaged since November.
Yay!
November. Definitely November.
Definitely.
And originally our plan was to head west to BC and then head south to Chile, but since COVID has happened, it's kind of been turned upside down.
We moved into our van 2 weeks ago, and we are moving forward as best we can, but everything has pretty much just been completely different than what we expected it to be. Originally, we were, like Charlie said, we were going to go all the way south, and I have my own business called Forged Coast Goldsmith. And it was going to be somewhat of like a marketing tour / travel adventure. But all the shops across Canada are pretty much closed. Well, they're opening now, which is really good. But it still has changed everything.
Yeah, and you weren't going to stop marketing in Canada. You know, the plan was to go into the States.
Yeah.
But since everything down there has been really mismanaged, who knows when that will be.
Yeah.
So for now, the plan is to kind of creep our way across Canada. We are going to skip through Quebec and Ontario fairly quick because of the high numbers there. But until things starting to loosen up and people start to get better, we are just going to take Canada in as much as we can.
Yeah, we're a lot more rurally than we expected to. Originally, we were going to do lots of cities and rural, but there was going to be a good balance. But we've kind of replanned everything, and we're going to do a lot more hiking and a lot more rural hanging out, so we're both really happy about that. I think yeah, it is what it is. We can't really change it, so we're going forward and we're having fun, and we're being pretty much as we're just being as conscious as we can be, while also somewhat sticking to this plan that we've had for the last 2 years. And
don't get used to us doing stuff like this, because this makes us extremely uncomfortable.
We're awkward.
This is like take 19. So this, you're not going to see us walking around with the mics in our mouths and vlogging because we're so bloody awkward. So we're just going to shoot stuff we find pretty, occasionally put it in slow motion, and then talk over it, I guess, in the editing time. So
Exhibit A.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We're going to show a lot of my work process outside, a lot of how handmade pieces of jewelry come into the world, and yeah. So we're just going to make and hike and eat our way across Canada.
Yeah. You know, the first thing everyone wants to know is what's inside of our van. So this video is mainly going to be a tour. We'll talk over that and kind of explain things as the video goes along. And afterwards we'll do kind of a brief financial breakdown, I guess. We have yet to add up all the receipts, and I am terrified to do that. But we have a loose idea what we spent, so we'll talk about that too.
Yeah. So this is our van.
So this is Blanche. She's a 2010 E250. She was a regular length, regular height, but we put a 2-foot fiberglass roof on top, which has really made life easy for both of us. And that came from a company in Quebec named Maury.
This is our sink setup. We have a 12-volt water pump and just a deep, small sink that we found at a discount center. We have 3 26-liter jugs for our water. We have 2 of those for fresh and 1 for gray. This is our kitchen drawer, so that keeps all of our cookware and utensils and everything we need in there.
Our fridge is a Dometic CC40. It's a 40-liter fridge. It's super efficient, super quiet, nice and compact, and we were lucky enough to get that off of Amazon.
This is our kitchen pantry, so we keep this for all of our food storage.
Our stove is just a regular old camp stove. It runs on propane. It's a Selkirk from Mech. And whenever we're done with it, we close everything up and we have a nice airtight sealed locker for our propane tank. And it's a 5-pound propane tank and it seems to be lasting quite a long time.
This is our overhead storage above the seats. It's really handy to just be able to grab things that we use every day. This is our personal storage, so I get one side and Charlie gets the other, and we keep our clothes and shoes and all of our personal belongings up there.
Our fan is just the most basic, fantastic fan. It's got 3 settings, and it really does the trick for us. We don't really need anything else. This is the lip I built around the seam between the van and the fiberglass roof. I was really worried about how I was going to cover it up, but it turned out pretty good. Our power is pretty basic. We've got 2 AC plugs and 2 DC plugs that have the voltage meter on it there. 2 dimmable light switches for our roof lights and our under cabinet lights. They're nice and efficient, nice warm light, and they really do the trick for the small space that we've got. We've got a Rover 20 amp controller, a 1000 watt inverter, and 105 amp hour AGM battery. And we've got 7 channels of DC power in our little fuse box there. Our power is generated by 2 100 watt solar panels from Renogy, and so far we haven't needed anything else.
This is our bed and sofa setup. We pull it out just like this to make our bed, and then slide the cushions side by side. There's that thin piece of foam you see on the left there under the cushion. We put that on top and it keeps the 2 cushions from scooching apart during the night. And then our sofa, it opens up like a chest style, and I keep all of my studio tools, and Charlie keeps all of his school books and stuff, just things that we don't need every day. It's kept under there. And this is my worktop out the back of the van. I have 2 of them. They just fold down. One of them I use to be working on, and then the other is just to hold tools that I'm not immediately using. I like the idea of traveling this way because it seems a bit more authentic than going to resorts or doing the tourism side of travel. I've always really wanted to do a lot of traveling, but 2-week trips never really spoke to me, I guess. Like, I always wanted to spend more time in the communities, so this has been really good to just be able to immerse ourselves completely.
Van life seemed like the most accessible way to travel. So you can't get to places like we can in a giant RV or a trailer. So we got Blanche in January 2019 after just staring at Kijiji and the classified ads forever looking for a deal. We were hoping for, you know, the classic Sprinter or ProMaster or something like that, but it just didn't make sense money-wise, you know.
We've always wanted to do this so we can travel and be comfortable, but we don't need to spend $50,000 to $75,000 to be comfortable really in a van. We knew what we wanted and what we needed to stay comfortable, and everything above that, like, we just kind of...
Just the basics, really.
Yeah, that's really... For who we are, it works for us. A lot of people out there with, like, the big expensive builds, like, that is what you guys need, and that's totally great too. We just found for our budget $15,000 for the van, and the whole conversion was what we could comfortably swallow. Yeah. And another big part of this thing for us is so that we can save up to, like, buy a house when we get back to Nova Scotia. So spending more than $15,000 on a vehicle that we're going to be in for the next few years seemed to us a little counterintuitive. So,
and that was over the course of nearly 2 years, so it was fairly manageable for us. Well, fairly manageable. It was manageable because it's happened. And of course, we had help along the way. Our parents were massive help, so thanks Dave, Robin, Kathy, and Dan. You know, spiel those off pretty quick. And also the big thanks to Mitch Keynes, Emily's brother, who's an electrician. He helped us wire up. Well, he
He did
wired
the
up
wire.
and we watched.
Yeah, we did like time lapses like throughout our year of building because we knew we were going to want to put together somewhat of a build video.
Yeah, it's a mess.
And it's so funny because like when it's us working in the van, it's like you running around and me just like kind of standing there. But then on the days that like Mitch was coming to help us, it's just us both standing there and he's like zooming around. So yeah, we definitely like depended on our community around us a lot to help, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without that. So yeah, it's been I mean, it's been different than what we expected it to be, but it's...
I don't really know what I expected, honestly. So this is just, it is what it is. We're having fun. You know, we keep on finding these amazing spots to park and spending time with our friends as well, as much as we can. So it's been good.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah. Our plan was to head west to BC and then head south to Chile, but everything got thrown out the door. I shouldn't swear.